Technicians, I don't need to ask you if you've ever had a frustrating day. I know you have them all the time. So do I. No exception here. A simple vehicle ought to be able to take care of a problem here. 2002 Mercury Sable 3.0 dual twin cam. It's got an EVAP issue. Now keep in mind, customers never come into your shop and say, excuse me, but can you work on my EVAP systems? They typically come into your shop because they got a MIL on. You know, the MIL, it stands for money indicator light, but sometimes it stands for misery indicator light on certain types of codes. And in the top 10 of all codes on cars for OBD2, EVAP definitely ranks in there right in the midst of the top 10. Now, the reason for the frustration is really threefold. Number one, there are so many different systems out there, it's hard to keep track of them. We got to understand how the vehicle systems work. And then number two, another frustration is we're not really sure how the code works. Either you got some ambiguous code like a P0440 or something a little bit more meaty that has to do with initial tank vacuum. And the third thing is also frustrating is using your scan tool, using your smoke machine and any other tool at your disposal to do proper EVAP diagnostics. We'll also talk about the different kinds of smoke machines. Now, smoke machines vary from their manufacturer and the kind of technology that's inside. This one is the Bosch system, has the flow meter as well as the leak gauge. So you've got our little gauge, our little linear, basically like a water manometer, the floating ball, that tells us we've got a big gaping hole, which may just simply be our vent. Get that vent closed, this ball should float down to whatever the legislative standard is for this car. It's going to be middle of the road. We're not sure which it is on an 02. It could be 20,000s or 40,000s, but certainly we're above both those ratings. This car has got a leak, but we got to make sure it's not a normal leak called the vent before we go into any more further diagnostics. We also have the meter here for the amount of flow of the pressure and smoke entering the system. As I turn this knob, we can reduce it or increase it. Now the reason we want to do that is sometimes when you find where the smoke's coming out, it's like, wow, there's so much smoke. It's like London, England on a foggy morning. You can't see where the smoke's coming from. So what you want to do is reduce the smoke flow until it's almost like blowing little smoke rings. So we want to pay attention not only to the flow meter but also to the flow gauge. This gauge is going to show us what we're putting into the system in inches of water, but we can also power the system off. We can start the engine and see if we're making pressure or vacuum. Because remember, when the systems go into their leak detection mode on their own, determine I'm going to turn the MIL on or not, some systems use pressure, some systems use vacuum. Some do the vacuum, some do the pressure after the key's off. So it's a big variety of how it all works. We can actually watch a little bit what's going on right here on this gauge. As also we watch our flow meter. Watch your scan tool showing if you've got a vehicle with a pressure transducer in the top of the tank or near the tank, as they've been moving them lately. You want to watch that scan tool pit and know what ambient is, and know what pressure is, and know what vacuum is, and know what you should see when you first start purging. It is amazing, that kind of information, those subtle little differences, just watching the scan tool alone, what that can tell you in addition to smoke. So we talk about all the tools, all the techniques, the different kind of systems and the different types of DTCs to get you through that frustrating maze of EVAP systems. Finally, in the Delphi EVAP class, we talk about some common do's and don'ts. The dumbest things we can do sometimes as techs when working with EVAP systems. And one of them is whenever the customer comes in, they got a light on, we pull the code, it's an EVAP code of any kind. What do we walk out to the car and do? Tighten up the cap. Hey, see if that fixes it. Well, most of us know that have been doing drivability very long that these non-continuous monitors like EVAP leaks only occur in very rare circumstances. So setting the whole scenario up, getting that light to come back on again, is not what we really want to do and leave that customer with. We want to try to catch the problem in the act using mode 6 data, which we cover in our class, as well as avoiding dumb mistakes like tightening the cap before you ever work on the vehicle. Smoke the vehicle first, close that vent, clamp it off, turn it on with the scan tool, turn it on with your ammeter, whatever you want to do, but smoke the vehicle, see if smoke's coming out here, check the system out before you tamper with the evidence. And on that subject, where do you put smoke in if you're using smoke as part of your EVAP diagnostic entourage? Now, you may want to do smoking from the back, but they are all techniques of getting smoke in from different areas on the vehicle to accomplish the same goal. Find out why the mill's on and take care of the problem that's turning it on so the customer is pleased and doesn't come back with that same problem. So come and check us out, the Delphi class at the AVI conference at Apex this year, November 3rd and 4th. Hope to see you there.